Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
for tonight, you know, we have we have 7 groups. Just to kind of spice it up, so they're not letting the championship drivers go by. You know, kind of keep it, you know, going. So Group 1, yes. You know, we have Chris Smith, Bailey McClure, and Bob Stevens.
Real quick.
All right.
Yeah, we'll get a lot of time we talk on that. Look at this grid right fast, because we are gridding it up for the night of racing here. Like you said, the final round of the 10. And then we're going to bring it back down to what I think is 8 drivers or so. But we got Nathan Brown. He needs a win tonight, like what you just spoke of a minute ago, to get into that next round. You know, if not, he needs a very, very good finish here. Got Ross Tatum there in second, starting second, Jacob Grant, Bob Sherwood, Joshua Altus, Wayne Chapman started 6th, Mike Haynes, he's there in 7th, Tyler Honeycutt, Joe Spinelli.
Is we don't have a repeat of IRP. You know, it's not as tight. It's not as tight as IRP, but I'm pretty sure these drivers have already been briefed. You know, in the little drivers meeting they do. You know, give each other room. You can race, give each other space. It is the clean racing league after all.
And unfortunately, you know, this track kind of mimics IRP a little bit, but you know, we'll have to see how it goes. You know, we've been fooled a lot. You know, sometimes you were great racing, you know, out of the blue, and then sometimes the track just overcomes the guys and the drivers out there, like you just said. And hey, it is a clean racing league, but there's some tracks that are just head scratchers.
Yeah, and I actually ran a few laps in practice, you know, before, you know, I hopped in here to do some broadcasting. Ran like 10 laps. I will say the opening laps, especially on these tires, coming off of turn 2 and 4, especially turn 4, it is super loose. These drivers are going to have to ease onto the throttle coming out of the corner. The corner looks way wider than it actually is. That wall will sneak up on you.
Yeah, like I said, got to be careful, but here we go. Nathan Brown going to bring the field line. One more time around this place here. And Honeycutt, he's got his fan club already out there.
Yeah, and you know, he had a good race last weekend. You know, he's up on the playoff board. He is +7. You know, Dusty Martin not showing up last week, you know, kind of played in the favor of some drivers, because Dusty Martin was a pretty good ways up the board. But I mean, when you're not here and there's 27, 30 trucks here, you know, you can drop down pretty quick.
Yeah, it ought to be a good one here as we're getting set to go green. It's good to see old Nathan Brown about being good and competitive here.
Yeah, and you know, he hasn't really had the truck he's wanted all season. You know, it just, hopefully things can change for him tonight. He can get a win, or you know, have a good race and get locked into the next round. But we're going green here.
We are. Green flag flies under the lights here tonight, Iowa style. See what these guys out here can pull off. As you see, Browns gets the jump out front. I think, like what you said, if you get slick, you know, in this place, you've got to, I think tires might matter. We talked last week where track position was key. I think at a track like this, yeah, momentum plays a little bit, but I also think, you know, tires might be crucial here.
Yeah, and they definitely will be. You know, when you start sliding, especially on a track like this, you're going to eat up your right rear. You know, the more, well, we got a car involved there, but you know, we stay green. But the right rear is going to cook itself, especially you know, there's Wayne Chapman right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, these trucks are going to be sliding, cooking their rear tires. It's best to play it safe in the beginning because as the run will go on, the tires will start to, the truck will stabilize, it'll start to tighten up, and you can hammer the throttle coming out of the corner. So as long as
you mentioned something right there. You know, patience is something that I talk a lot about, and we talk about conservative drivers. A track like this favors this guy here, Joshua Altus, who knows how to be patient and just kind of wait around. As opposed to last week where he had to be a little more aggressive, he can take that patience here tonight. And you know, you talked about being loose, burning the tires up. Well, that's the only way to counteract that is just back to turn up and be a little bit patient on track.
Yeah, and I think these, you know, the playoff drivers, I think they understand that they need to get to the end to see, you know, make it. They just have to get to the end. They don't want to, you know, end their race early and then risk not being in. I think Joshua Altus is locked in no matter what. I think he's plus 30 above the cut line. Plus 32, Jacob Gray is plus 33. So I think those two are pretty much a lock. They can, because of each position is a point loss. So I think they're pretty good on the night. Whether they have a rough night, get wrecked out, I think they're advancing. The people I would look forward, Justin Carey plus 18, Ross Tatum plus 11, Tyler Honeycutt plus 7, and Nathan Brown is even.
And so we go back to that. I mean, you talk about Honeycutt. He's yet to win a race, but he's still in the hunt.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he's had a wreck all season that was his fault. You know, I could be wrong, but
bad place.
It's always, yeah, he's at the wrong place, wrong time. You know, something happens in front of him, he has nowhere to go, or he's slowing down, he gets hit from behind. You know, it's kind of stuff like that. It happens in racing. You know, he hasn't had the best of luck all season, but he's managed to
get the Sherwood effect sometimes. That's kind of what I look at. Sherwood would be running great, and then just the end of the race always get caught up into something. He was having a bad stream there at one time. Up, Timothy, how you doing? Good racing so far here, though. Like what you said, I mean, this is what this track's going to bring. You know, some guys are going to burn those tires up and then just fall back. Some guys are going to come through the field, so we might see some hard chargers like here with Bryson Clark up 6 spots. Lane Hoosler, we haven't talked much about him, but he's already advanced with a win. He's up 7 already. I don't know if a track like this really, you know, we go back to driving styles. He's going to have to change his a little bit. Don't be over aggressive because it's easy to do and you can burn those tires up. Yeah, huge line here.
Yeah,
what about the best of the best racers? Okay, my bad.
No, you're good.
Well, I was just Kentucky out there. He was wondering about the best of the best racers, and I know Caleb. He's got all the info on that.
Yes. So go ahead. So the best of the rest. So it is 7 groups for this race. Some of the drivers are here, some of the drivers are not. If the drivers aren't here, they're automatically eliminated, of course, because they're not racing. But Group 1 is Chris Smith, Bailey McClure, and Bob Stevens. Group 2 is Vernon Margheim, Tyler Pursley, Bradley Murphy.
And Vernon's not here, by the way.
Yes, so I think it's just going to be Tyler Pursley and Bradley Murphy battling out there. And then we have Group 3, which is Bryson Clark, which we were talking about earlier, Evan Kinney and Frederick Garcia. Group 4 is Jordan Trask, Wayne Chapman, Paul Turner.
Where's Fred at tonight?
Is he here?
No, don't see him. And Fred, can't talk about you.
Man.
I know. That means he's
Well, I
broke
mean,
his streak of consecutive races.
No, I think he missed one last season.
Oh, he did? Well,
Yeah, I think.
he had
I think
oh,
he
okay.
missed.
Okay. Well, I know he did the
but-
200 start. And that 200 consecutive starts, though.
No. It's just 200 total,
Oh, okay.
which is the most of anyone in the league.
I guess.
And then Group 5 is Matt Dyer, Joe Spinelli, and Jason Kratz.
Uh-oh. Sorry about that. Got caution.
Oh, big one. I think
Yes,
that's
we
Duffy
do.
Martin right there, playoff
Yeah.
driver.
Well, we got a couple of them in here. We'll hyper through. Watching here, it's Wayne Chapman. Yeah, he got a little loose. Looks like he just got loose. We were just talking about it all night long. Just came out of the turn, and yeah, she just stepped out from under him. And unfortunately, man, the outside trunk like you did there. More to go. Other ones involved. Got Justin Carey involved with it. Like Steve, was Jamie Horn, Jordan Trans, and Justin Carey all involved in that one, unfortunately.
Very, very unfortunate. And, you know, it just goes back to what I was saying earlier. You know, the truck will step out that, you know, it's very loose coming up the corner. You know, I don't think I've seen any big damage. I mean, he did kind of hook back right into one of the trucks, which I believe was Clark, the 89. But other than that, I don't think anyone sustained any heavy damage. I could be wrong. But, you know, they're all coming down pit road here.
Yeah, tires are going to be important in here. Evan and Tyler Pursley staying out. I just don't think staying out's going to be the game plan here on this style track. I mean, you're too loose. I think anytime you get a chance to get tires, which they are limited on their tires, so they got to be careful. I'm not sure a 2-tire stop unless you just maybe with 15 or 10 laps to go and you've just got that big of a lead. I don't know if we're going to see that 2-tire strategy tonight. Yeah, I think tires are going to be.
Yeah, I think you're going to see everyone come in, take 4 tires. You know, as if we get to a green flag, like stop situation, and you know maybe a playoff driver who needs to make up something, maybe then we'll see 2 tires. But other than that, I don't think we'll really see 2 tires, especially on a caution, unless it's overtime, and then you know maybe then we'll see some people gamble because 2-lap shootout. What do you have to lose? Especially if you're in a must-win.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You get down to something like that. If it's a green flag, you know, situation pits-wise, maybe 10, 15 laps to go, I could, and you're the leader, maybe I could see a 2-tire strategy or something. But other than that, no. Because I got a feeling right now, Kenny and Pursley, right, you know, even at 20 laps in, are about to get blown away with all these guys with 4 tires behind them.
Yeah, and especially on the start, if they don't time it right and if they're not patient, going into the restart zone, they can spin their tires, which could end up with something even more disastrous than maybe what they're planning for. So, you know, just something to keep your eye out on. You know, because we have seen these drivers slipping, sliding, cooking the tires. Now they've cooled back down. So it's just unexpected. You know, what could happen?
Whew. Yeah, you know, and we came into this race, you know, obviously being, you know, positive. It is a clean racing league, and that's what we say. Most of the time, I'm going to say 95, 96% of the time, it's clean racing. There are some tracks out there that just are bothersome. This one could be. It remains to be seen. But that right there was typical of what we've been talking about all night. You get loose. 2 guys battling. Wildly enough, though, it was the outside that got loose. Normally you see the inside get loose, but going back green, Kenny and Pursley. Let's see how long they can hang on to it here with Nathan Brown and Rob Sherwood. If Brown can capitalize those new tires, and yeah, you can just see it right there. They're just gonna smoke them.
Yeah, you seen Sherwood get into the oh, we hooked
Brown
him.
around. Yeah. Oh, are you kidding? Wow. Maybe he didn't give him a good subscription on the Only Dads. Oh, wow. Let's go back and watch No Caution, but that was, I think that was maybe a little checkup. Brown maybe had to check up a little bit, and, you know, Sherwood might have had a little run. Either way, it's two guys taking that real estate there. They both were on good tires. I don't know. And just two guys, man, taking the same area, and unfortunate for Nathan Brown. Woo!
Yeah, you could see Sherwood start to cut back. You could see Sherwood start to cut back, kind of do an undercut type thing, try to get the run off the corner, and I guess. Oh, did we stay green?
We stayed, yeah, because he got off the track. He got way off the apron and he got going. Yeah, he was on that threshold right there. He stayed way down.
Oh, we got one.
Oh, but we're gonna stay green now, probably. Nope, yellow flag out. We got a big one. He's still crashing back here in the back. Back here, watch see what happened on this one. And well, actually, it happened in front. 68. We'll have to go with the 68 machine. Alpine. Got loose out of the turn. I think that's going to be the norm for the night. It looks like just got back on the throttle a little too soon. She just came around. Oh, Anderson, man, missing that one, and then everybody else just didn't have too much luck. That will help out old Brown, though.
Yeah, you know, I don't know how the rear end that bumper is looking for Brown. He did hit bumper first, rear bumper first. So I don't know how the spoiler is.
He looks good so far.
I would say, I mean, it looks like it's fine. He just where he's sitting now, he is most definitely out of the playoffs as it sits, which is unfortunate.
Looks like he might have got hit on that left side. What? That ain't go anyways. Oh, just. Looks alright. Just maybe just. It looks fine. Obviously needs some tires, maybe.
Yeah, I mean he definitely smoked him, so he's but
helped him from not going a lap down.
Yeah, that's definitely you go a lap down in a short track like this, it's very difficult to overcome that.
Yeah. Elaine's the man out front, and typical of what we've been talking about tonight. You said it earlier. You know, the tires out there, you're going to cook them. They're very loose on the truck side of things, and we're seeing it. Guys are just spinning out. Really, the only two ways to combat that, I mean, you can do a little bit with brake bios, but you shouldn't have to use too much brakes in a track like this, is basically back that turn up, let off of it a lot sooner, and then get back on the throttle real easy, not try to stab it back. You know, don't go full throttle until a little bit later, until you're almost straight and coming out of the turn. And about the only way to combat that, other than new tires.
Yeah, but I mean, you can't take new tires every time, and you know these drivers know that. We know that, and tracks like these where you know it's slick, it's hot. You know, even though it's nighttime, it's still slick. You have to. I'm sure you've heard this before. Treat the gas pedal as if there's an egg behind it. You know, you don't want to crack it. You know, you have to feather it. You know, get back onto it. You don't want to hammer it. You hammer it, we see stuff like we've just seen right now.
Talked
You know,
about last week, pedals. Remember that? We was talking about it. What would make you fast, sim equipment. Well, right there's a perfect example. You've got a good set of pedals. You'll be able to modulate that throttle very well.
yeah, and you know, I will say I don't think and you know we might disagree here. I don't think the gas pedal, the throttle pedal is as important as the brake pedal. The brake pedal you need to
Well, now
like I feel like that
if your
is
gas pedal man only goes on and off, you can't ease into that gas pedal. It might be pretty important.
you know one thing I will say when I first got started in sim racing, I had a I had this Thrustmaster T80, no force feedback steering wheel, and those pedals were so bad. So this was also a time before I learned about drivers and stuff I had to download on computers. So like I had just started iRacing, and the pedal it was either 100, like whether I
That's
pressed
what I'm
it
talking
barely,
about.
and so. But I mean, I was winning races with it, and you know,
And you
the
can.
difference. But like, I'm not saying, you know, that's not something you should do.
On
Off
a
and
track
on.
like
You know?
this, brakes not going to really. I mean, road racing, yeah, that's a different topic.
Well, you're using your brake here.
Not
But,
that
but we're
much.
going, you'd be surprised. But we're going green here. Lane Holster, got a big jump in the restart zone. Caught Joshua Altus on the outside, completely off guard, as the 42 squeaks below.
I did have a telemetry where I could brake and gas. I don't know. I need to put that into SDK. I used to have that. Actually, I do have one on ATVO where it shows me brake, gas, and RPM. Keep a little tattletale. What the drivers were doing on the track and so forth. You know, folks, we're talking about sim equipment. I mean, it's advanced in the long run, but you know, like what you just said right there. Yeah, if you've got a brake pedal that's kind of on, off, click, click. Yeah, I mean, you need that where you can just barely mash it and it recognizes, almost like a car. You know, you barely mash the throttle and it goes. Instead of if you just barely mash it and that thing says, well, you know what, I'm gonna go 3/4, boom. You know, that don't really help you.
No, and I will say, the 42 is on the rear
In my
bumper,
case, yeah.
and you know
He is.
he is associated with Honeycutt.
Oh, okay.
But
He's
yeah,
giving
I mean,
Hoosler man a run for his money. We've not seen that a lot, you know, so to speak. I mean, we've seen, you know, guys obviously win over Lane, but not a lot of guys get up here, man, and just, you know, kind of tackle him door to door. Not taking anything away from the talent out here.
oh no, absolutely not. You know, oh wow, really close to his rear bumper there. But I mean, look, he may be close right now, but is he burning his stuff up? You know, Lane's very good. Lane is very good at saving and controlling the race from in front. So, slow car in the back.
Well, it summed up as one crashing Kyle Payne. I got a feeling he probably just spun, went off the track. Tried to hold it right there, got the wall a little bit. Loop on around, and yeah, he got off the track.
You know, I'm happy to caution to come out. I'm a little confused on what happened. You know, maybe the tires got a little hot and, you know, it kind of got out from underneath him. You know, it can happen.
I think this is answering your question right here too about Haynes. Might have used up the truck a little bit, trying to get up there because now he's falling back off the pace. You got Altus Tatum right behind him battling. So, yeah, usually when you see a truck right up there, man, running hard, then all of a sudden drops back, kind of an indication that he might have used up some stuff.
Yeah, and you know, if Mike Hayes at the moment, if I'm him, you know, I'm an uncharted truck. I feel like there's a sense of, you know, there's something to prove, but at the
Sure.
same time, you don't want to wreck anyone. So, you know, I feel like he was pushing. We did see him almost get into the rear end of lane, and that kind of halted his run. You know, because ever since then he kind of started falling back. Because when he was on the bumper, I mean, he was running close, but I mean, as soon as he got to the corner, and almost hit him. You know, almost tapped him. He kind of started falling back. I wonder what's going to happen when you have Altus and Tatum here, who are eventually going to catch the 42 of Hayes. What's going to happen? Is he going to race them? Is he going to let them go? What's going to happen?
You know, we haven't really talked too much to it, a track like this, because we haven't had a really good long green flag run and how hard it is to pass here. I mean, with newer tires, sure, you're going to go right on by someone, but as the tires wear out, it might get pretty difficult to pass because you know, if a guy taking that outside lane looks like middle outside place you want to be, if you force him to go on the inside, really tough. You see here Tatum, he looks like he's a little faster than Altus, but just can't quite make that pass because the truck just wants to step out from under him.
Yeah, and albeit they are teammates, they are racing for the same championship. You know, Altus is a two-time champion. He's won two championships in the past 3 seasons. You know, looking for his third and fourth.
That
So
right there is what I
you
was
know,
talking about. Altus couldn't make that pass all the way. They probably going to make it this time, but last time just wasn't able to make it. I mean, the truck kind of got a little wiggly, but yeah, he needed that track right there. You can just see how much he needed to go up the track in order to make that pass.
yeah, and you could see him kind of the back end kind of slide out when he made the move up the track, and it kind of halted the 42 on the outside, which allowed the 91 to get to the inside. You know, it was a good move. Which now you know, Altus and Tatum have gotten past Hayes in the 42. Really nothing he can do in the 42 truck. I feel like he kind of
Burned those tires up. He's done.
Yeah. There's a 68 truck coming back into the track.
Burwood up there in 5th. Honeycutt maintained it in 6th. Jacob Grant there in 7th. And Matthew Dyer, you talked about him. He's up 10 spots up there in the 8th place. Then you got Joe Spinelli hanging on the 9th. They have McKinney around in the top 10, but he's got old Becker right there on his back bumper. The Tyler Pursley, then a good little battle back here. Nathan Brown trying to come back through the field, though. Man, he had a good run. He was up front there. Just an unfortunate set of circumstances for him.
Yeah, and you know, you know, if he doesn't make the playoffs, he's going to be thinking about it. He's going to be upset. You know, a lot of these drivers, you know, this is they treat it as if they're actually racing. I know I did. You know, so when something happens, emotions take over. And you know, if he doesn't make it, he's going to look back at what happened between him and Sherwood, and you know, he's going to think, well, what could I have done differently? You know, I'm sure him and Sherwood will talk afterwards. You know, but it was just a very unfortunate set of circumstances in this situation.
Yeah, it is. Right now, been a good solid race here tonight. Iowa style. A couple cautions early on, but so far, everybody's been pretty patient. Good battles here throughout the field. Lane Hoosler up 15 spots. He's I think he's driving to want to say make a point. Last year, just missed out on winning the championship. Got there, probably was the most dominant truck, but lost it at the last race. And you know, even showing dominance here, still, once you get in that Final Four, it's anybody's ball game.
Yeah, and you know, last year, you know, Lane Holsler was definitely the most dominant truck in that race. Ooh, very close going to that corner right there. But was definitely the most was definitely the most dominant truck in that race, and a late race caution really flipped the script. You know, and which, you know, kind of allowed Altus to win his second championship.
We loved it.
You know, and oh, I mean, it was very exciting. You know, and I hate it for the other three drivers, but you know, that's just racing. That's just the type of racing that the playoffs and the championship race produces. You know,
and that's why I say with
happen.
Honeycutt, if he gets in there, don't count him out. You know, it's you know, you got to be there to win it.
Yeah, and you know, I feel like the 7 drivers that make it to the next round are gonna have a handful going into the round of 7, because next week we're at Rockingham.
Bumpy track.
Yeah, we're at Rockingham, and the week after that, the final race for the championship race, we're at the old Atlanta. The really bumpy. We're not at the super speedway version. We're at the old Atlanta, the good one.
Oh, okay.
So,
Harsh on tires
yeah.
again.
Yeah, so 2 back-to-back weeks of just bumpy tracks, and it's really going to prove who can wheel it, especially going into Homestead, which is our final race, which should be very fun.
It should. Right now, got a good battle here. Tyler Pursley's trying to hold on with Raz and old Nathan Brown. He's mixing it up here with a little bit with these guys. Still Hoosler out front. Tatum, Altus, Sherwood, and Honeycutt. That's the top 5. Brown trying to utilize. He's got a newer set of tires. Actually, Pursley's got newer tires, but trying to get around these guys with them bad lanes. Trying to make up some, you know, track positions. Back in 14th here. Chris Smith. He's in a new color. Wow. Hello.
Yes, it's like every week we have new trucks for the high five team. But you know, running the CRL Grant Designs car. You know, and while we're, you know, on him, I know he has it on his car, but Sports Academy. There it is. There it is. You know, the title sponsor for the league. You know, Sports Academy Youth Flag Football. You know, they've come on this season, and you know, they've allowed the series to do things that wasn't happening before. Like at the end of the season. At the end of the season, the champion's going to get a belt.
Nice.
Yeah, like a championship belt, which I'm honestly really excited about. Like I wish I could get one, especially being a wrestling fan. I would love it. But you know, it's cool. It's cool, you know, having Sports Academy on board. And if you want to go check out Sports Academy, you can go to sportsacademy.us/programs, and you can check out the youth flag football program, and check out everything that Sports Academy has to offer. But you know, we're really happy to have them on board, and hopefully next season as well.
Absolutely. Hoosler's still the man out front. Tatum is trying to run him down slowly but surely. Altus is falling back to 3rd here for the moment. Looks like Ross Tatum, I told you, you know, this is more of a patient style track here. You know, you don't want to be over aggressive at a place like this, because we're going to use those tires up. You got Rob Sherwood hanging on here to 4. Tyler Honeycutt, who was, I gotta say, with him not winning a race, is probably the underdog out of all this. But yet, it's kind of just wrong to say underdog, because he's been very competitive, just not gotten that win. He's been close, but that proves in the old saying, he can win a bunch of races, but consistency wins championships. And if he makes it to that Final Four, these guys need to watch out, because he's definitely consistent.
Yeah, and I mean, that's honestly what you want in a format like this. You want to be consistent. You know, bring home, if you can finish third every week, third, fifth, anywhere in the top 5, I mean, heck, even top 10, as long as you can bring home those consistent points, you're guaranteed to have a playoff spot. You're as long as you can do that going into the rounds, not get caught up in anything. Unfortunately, Honeycutt has had issues all season with wrecks and all that. But he's bounced back, he's recovered, with his consistency. Almost winning a few races here and there, but that's what you want.
And and we talk about that. I mean, in the playoffs, where's big battle right here with the 6 machine. That's Jacob Grant. Almost got a little wiggly there. But we talk about, the playoff is set up more. It's supposed to be, let me rephrase that, it's supposed to be set up more for, winning is the ultimate goal. But you actually could. Ryan Newman almost pretty much proved that point, and I think NASCAR kind of screwed him that year. But because I think he probably would have won it. As you can get into the Final Four without winning a race, without winning at all, you've got to be very, very consistent doing it. As you see, man, this race going on back here, boy, these guys are packed up on top of each other.
Yeah, and going back to not winning a race and the championship, and winning the championship, Matt Crafton did it in the Truck Series in 2019. So he didn't win a single race and ended up winning the championship. I like the format. It brings good racing. It has a side of unpredictability to it. But at the same time, you could have stuff like that happen, and I wouldn't say somebody that's undeserving gets it, but it leaves the door open.
And that's like in the back in the older days where, pretty much points was king. And you were consistent enough, you would definitely get up there. Biggest battle comes to mind is 85. Bill Elliott, he dominated that year. Didn't win the championship. Darrell Waltrip got it from him. Way more consistent, but top dog win-wise didn't win it that year. And so we've seen that a lot back in the older days. But the chase is definitely supposed to have changed a lot out, and for the most part it has. You see when they get to the Final Four, usually you always know it's going to be the top 4 guys at the end there. Somehow, some way, ends up that way. I'm saying NASCAR would do anything to make that happen. I have seen some wild stuff over my years. 42 struggling here. Mike McCain, I think he wore them tires out from earlier there, Caleb.
Yeah, and you can see him wiggling off the corner, really fighting the truck. And, he was really fast in the beginning of the run, but, it just, you want to try to get out into the lead, and it just goes back to the whole, patience, especially on a track like this, where it's slick. You don't want to hurt the tires. You want to treat them as if it's your baby. Baby the tires. Yeah. You don't. You're right. You don't want to hurt
right
it.
Here, because look at this battle. I mean, Tatum has ran down Hoosler. I mean, so it's definitely, you're right on point what you were talking about. Good stuff.
Yeah, and Tatum is 2/10 back from Lane Hosler here in the 61. The only thing I am thinking here is we've seen Lane do this before. I forget what race it was this season. Well, you let him go. Never mind.
I don't think he wanted to battle too much. Tear up those tires even more. I tested water on the inside though.
Well, what? Oh no, he's pitting.
Pit road.
Honestly, that was really, really smart. I wonder if he let him go so he wouldn't follow him down pit road.
Guys, that's good strategy.
I mean, we've seen it done this season. But I mean, what I was going to say, before he had let him go and everything, um, you know, he's talked about in the booth over his 5 wins this season, how he was letting off while in the lead and, not really going. He was just kind of, running a comfortable pace, and then as soon as they would start to catch him, he would go again, and then he would make these big gaps.
It don't make everybody else feel better, you know what? You can do that. I mean, that just does not make your competition go, I'm out here running as hard as I can. This guy up here, cruise control. And then he flat out goes and I can't get it.
Well,
demoralizing.
Yeah, but I mean, at the end of the day, he's trying to win a championship.
Oh, yeah, I give it to him.
And I'm sure he puts in practice hours and all of that, and has a lot of experience on the service. But I mean, the experience is paying off because he's been absolutely dominant this season. I mean, he's a multi-time champion in this league anyway. So I mean, he knows.
Didn't he take a season off at one time?
He did.
That's what I was thinking. He came back.
Yeah. I know he was racing off and on there for a little bit, and they came back. I think last season.
That's what I was thinking because I never saw him before, and then somebody said, "Yeah, he's a multi-champ." I was like, "Really?"
Yeah, and when I started racing in CRO, you had your drivers that were here every week. They've been here since the beginning. I was racing part-time, so I never raced for the championship. I was mainly only here for the road courses.
He's a road racer, man.
Yeah, I was mainly only here for the road courses. And oh man, I forgot what I was saying. I was flattered, Joe. Calling me the king of road courses.
Well, you dominate them every time you come out. Like a road racing ringer.
I just like road courses. They're very fun to me.
You have to appreciate it. I've talked that a lot of times when we go to road racing. Road racing is something you have to appreciate. The racing art of it, because it's not like you see right here a lot of side-by-side passing or a lot of this right here, a lot on road race. I mean, heck, even with the Bathurst that they just had, even supercars, they got strung out so much. A lot of people said it was a boring race, but yet you have to enjoy the aspect of what road racing is, the cars, the racecraft, and what it takes to get around those tracks. Not so much like right here where it's 3 wide and you just hold on, I mean, there's some racecraft here too, but yet road racing is just a different animal, and you have to appreciate the cars and the tracks. Out here it's more of, we like the drivers, we like the drama, we like the excitement on track here. These guys are racing close to each other.
Yeah, and oval racing to road racing, it's 2 different disciplines of racing.
Yes.
I personally say that oval racing is more difficult. In my opinion, if you want to do it right,
anyone be more consistent, I think, in ovals. Not that you don't have to be consistent in road racing, but you'd have to drive one, folks, to understand what I'm saying here. It's really about lap times a lot of times on oval racing. You've got to hit that mark, and if you can hit it the same way every single time, and I know you're like, well, you got to do the same thing. Yeah, you do. I think it's a little more forgiving in road racing if you miss a mark, as opposed to here where it's, well, we talk about some tracks like, Las Vegas and Auto Club we just came from, or Las Vegas, where those are such momentum style tracks. If you don't you're not very consistent lap after lap. Within, you know, what, 100th, I'd say, got pit stops happening. You fall off the pace very easily. I mean, we've seen that here. Burn the tires up, et cetera. Yeah, you're right. I mean, it's just two totally different disciplines in racing. I enjoy road racing. You enjoy racing?
Yeah, I mean, look, I love both disciplines. I have more experience in oval racing. I'm just better at road racing. I know that makes no sense, but you know, at oval racing, I love it. I'm not very good at it.
I also think road racing is more setup oriented. Dude, whatever your setup and your driving style is. We were talking about braking here at a track like this. You know, what do you have to do? Back out, you know, throttle wise and stuff. How you are on the track and how you're set up in a road course, and your driving style. You're a little bit harder of a braker, you know, et cetera. You know, if your setup is set up for that, then yeah. So
The yellow flag is
setups
out.
really matter
Oh,
a
no.
lot. And yeah, I saw that honeycut, man. Just well, you know why? Because caution's out. So that
Oh,
might
that
have been a smart move. Let's go and watch what happened here. Trucks up here getting into each other. Like your Wayne Chapman. Chapman just loop it all night long. Yeah, just about
Yeah,
back
that's
that one.
yeah, that's twice tonight for the 3 truck of Chapman there. You know, sometimes you know it's just look.
Bad
Sometimes bad luck, and sometimes the track and the truck just gets the best of you. And you know, I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I had rough races. You know, but you learn from them. You learn, and you know not to do it next time. But you know, as we have the leaders
I'll tell you
pitting
what,
here-
Lane Hoosler actually got benefited out of that because he was a lap down there for a little bit. One of the guys that got trapped a lap down on that caution.
Yeah, I know we've seen Altus pit.
Sherwood, Kenny, Haynes, Nelly, Dyer, Brown. Guys in the back there. I mean, I don't know if they're going to take the wave around or not. We'll see. But Kenny's going to get the lucky dog, but anybody else? Devastating.
Yeah, and you know it changes the whole race right there because everyone was in green flag pit stops. I'm really confused. You know, I see all these drivers, and you know we've seen a lot at IRP, Milwaukee Mile, and like all these tracks. The trucks, these drivers losing it on their own. And I'm not saying everyone has to be perfect, but like
There's throttle control. I mean, we go back. It's just throttle control there, Caleb. I mean, it's. And true. I mean, we had a long green flag run. Tires are wearing down. You know, It's easy for us to sit up here and say, "Oh, you could." I mean, because I know I've lost it many times coming up turns. Again, it is the throttle control. Just some tracks are very, very tough. How do you fix it? Well. Age-old question. I mean, sometimes the track gets the better of you, I reckon.
yeah, and I don't know. Hopefully, because I mean, you know, I know I brought up IRP, Milwaukee Mile. It's just we've seen it so much this season with these cars spinning out on their own, or trucks spinning out on their own. To a point to where, like, you know, and sometimes it is some of the same drivers. Sometimes, I'm not saying it's all the time, you know, sometimes we get like the one-offs that, you know, spin on their own. But it's, you know, sometimes it's the same people, you know.
Well, the biggest thing.
Should you
Yeah, we
back
just
off
talked
a
about
little bit?
Well, true that. You know, also too, you know, there's not a lot you can do. We're running on a fixed setup. Oh, we don't really talk much about this too here, Caleb, but I don't know. I never really changed it a lot. I kind of kept it being default, well, the 1 and whatnot. But steering ratio can have a lot to do with that too. Some guys, used to like go to 8-1, 10-1. To me, that's just a little twitchy, especially on a shorter style track. Maybe on a bigger swinging style track, 1.5, maybe a Talladega or something like that, sure, you might could get away with that. I don't know. I some of that could be that too, because we go back to that being smooth, being consistent. A lot of that is how you turn that wheel. Watching real racing, and we'll watch right here the leader Honeycutt when we go back green on board with him. How much input they put in that wheel. That's where a lot of the consistency comes in on the oval racing. Are you yanking the wheel, jerking the wheel? That could lead to a lot of spinning also. And that's just basically practice and just practice, I guess, time in the truck.
Yeah, and we're about to go green here. With Honeycutt in the lead. Two drivers that really benefit here: Jordan Trask, Tyler Pursley, plus 13, plus 18. Same tires.
Anderson 15.
Yeah,
flag. But watch right here going into this turn. I mean, not too bad. Kind of holding it right there a little bit. You can see how though. I mean, this track is really just going to be loose no matter what. Going into these turns, just don't want to have to try to overfight that truck a lot.
No, you definitely don't want to overdrive the corners. That's kind of how you start eating the tires up. You're seeing a bunch of the faster drivers here. They're running the middle of the racetrack. That is the fastest line in the whole track.
Ghost, he's up to third.
Oh,
he's way back in the back. Yeah, I saw that.
Honeycutt's in the grass.
Yeah, he was actually up front. I mean, when we were on board with him, looked like he was fighting that wheel a little bit, as opposed to you saw right there as Ghost. Kind of was a little more smoother on the transition, and that goes back to what we were talking. Watch right here with Honeycutt. Perfect example of what I was talking about. Look at him kind of sawing a little bit on the wheel, hanging on. Let's go here to Ghost and see what he does. As look at that. It looks a lot more stable. You still got a little loose coming out of that turn. That could be throttle, but yet he looked a lot more stable. And that could be back to what we were talking about. Is it, some product of the track, and two, the steering ratios and so forth and so on, goes up to third, but here comes Hoos right there. You just can't keep that guy down.
No, and, earlier you were talking about, does he have something to prove? I think he's on a mission. He wants
to win everything this round.
Absolutely. And I don't think there's a race that he races that he doesn't want to win. But and we were riding on board with Abram and Tyler there, and the difference in the wheel, how one was shaking back and forth and how the other one was smooth. That also goes back to personal preference and the force feedback.
Watch who's over here, see. Look at that. Look at that. I mean, you can just see that. And I mean, that right there just shows you. Yeah,
I mean, it's smooth.
It's smooth. I mean, you can't get much smoother than that on this track. I mean, you're going to have a little bit of shake because that truck's wanting to get out from under you. This place is tend to be a little loose anyways. Right there. You can see it. He had to correct it, but that folks right there is about as smooth as you're going to get. And That tells us a lot. That shows that it's what you got to do around here. Save tires too. Eric Anderson in the wall.
Yeah, and a little less than 50 laps to go. Pretty long race.
Oh, Jamie
they're
Horn
going-
got tight.
Wow.
Yeah, he got way tight. Had to get out of it. Good job on his end there. He's going to lose some spots, but good heads up on his end because that thing just shot up the track on him.
It did, and good job for him. Not not getting Eric Anderson there, because that definitely would have caused the big one had they both ended up in the wall. But to the steering ratio and everything. I know a bunch of these drivers sometimes they'll crank it all the way up to 16-1, and that makes the steering wheel as relaxed as possible.
Yep.
But it also makes it looser.
I mean, I felt
so,
you lost a little feeling going that high. I don't know about you, but I feel like at a certain point you lose a little bit of feel of the truck if you go too much, too high.
Well, so when I was racing, I like high force feedback. So like I like my steering wheel to where if I wrecked, it snapped out of my hand. That's how I liked it. So like Auto Club, I hated it. I hated Auto Club because the steering wheel would literally shake out of my hand. But that's how I liked it, and I was pretty good at keeping it in my hands. But 16-1 kind of helped Eric Anderson in the wall there, coming up turn 2. But 16-1, it made it free, but not too free to where I couldn't feel what was going on. It was kind of like that happy medium type situation. But I mean, everyone has personal preference when it comes to racing. I mean, everyone in this field
likes that wall.
Yeah, it just be happy it's not Darlington. It's just pipe all the way around. But yeah, I mean, it comes back to personal preference. I mean, some people like racing with the Formula wheels. Some people like racing with GT wheels. I know.
Can't do the Formula wheel.
I know. I had a deep dish wheel, which is what they run in actual stock cars. It had no buttons on it. It was just the wheel, and that's what I like. So, I mean, I know some people race with controllers. I don't know how they do it, but they do it. So everyone has what they like, and everyone is used to what they have. So that's kind of the beauty of it, Everyone, almost dropped the keyboard. Everyone can race together with all different types of equipment, and that's the fun of it.
You talk about that real quick. There's this awesome battle here. Anderson, Tatum trying to come through the front here. Evan Kinney and them, and that's Ghost in front of them battling. I watch a guy on Twitch a lot of times. He has no arms, no legs, and he races iRacing. I've seen him race better than some guys with a wheel set up and everything. Amazing. Testament to the technology we have nowadays. Allow people to do that. That is awesome. But also to the talent is wide here. Jamie Horn. I want to think about it. Been able to get it done. Anderson still in front there. That actually Ross Tatum, right?
Yep, that I
a different paint job this week.
Yeah, I was looking at it and I'm like, man, that's different from what we're normally used to. I mean, it's still a black truck, but it's yellow now. It used to be red.
Yeah.
So, red and white, because he had the Coca-Cola scheme.
Yeah.
But Jordan Trask still your leader. The number 79 Trask, but he's got Lane Holsler right on his tail.
I know, man. Holsler just out of nowhere. You keep that guy down for long. For the lead again, up 14 spots. Trask up 14, Persley up 18. He goes for the inside. Well, to make it this time around.
I think he's. I wouldn't say setting him up, you know, just trying to time his run right. Lane knows he has a faster truck. You know, not saying anything bad about Jordan Trask. You know, he's doing a very excellent job keeping the truck out there, keeping it clean, not hitting anything, not losing it. But I mean, you have a multi-time champion and a guy who's won 5 races behind you, I'd be a little nervous.
Yeah, and now the good thing about a track like this, if he can keep Hoosler back there, you know, long enough, and maybe keep him pinched down, he could make Lane use up a little of those tires that he doesn't want to, and then hold him off a little bit. So, you know, that's something to look at, because not many people have been able to hold him off too long. Right now, he's doing a good job. Got a good battle going on back here still. Pursley, Honeycutt, Kenny. Honeycutt's been able to make his way back up front. Remember earlier, almost lost it. He's still maintaining in fourth. I mean, I feel like if he finishes out this night in fourth, got a good shot to get to that next round.
Yeah, I mean, now he was in defensive mode, trying to keep the lead, and now he's in recovery mode. He is just trying to secure as many points as possible. You know, I don't think I don't think he's going to be knocked out because of you know, the mess up.
Racing like his, he might be.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that was close. I've also lost all telemetry. That's on me. That's not on the software. I can't see it anymore.
You got that link?
Yeah, no, I have the link. Phone died, so I can't.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Yeah, that's not on the software. It's on me.
Him and Pursley and Honeycutt battling. Honeycutt was able to make that pass, got up to 4th still. Pursley right there in 5th. Kenny up to 3rd though, man. Right now, Kenny's trying to make some waves here with Ross Tatum right there in 6th. Couple drivers may need a pretty good night here tonight.
Yeah, and very close from the 00 and the 91 here.
Good race so far, and up front. Here we go, Lane. He's trying for that lead. That's what I was talking about, how hard it might be able to pass later on in the run. You know, Lane's probably, you know, tick faster than Jordan up front here, but getting around him on this track.
Yeah, and you know, I will say those two have driven away from the field. You know, we got a lap car in the 18 of Bradley Murphy, I think. Yep, Bradley Murphy in the 18 gets out of the way, and the race for the lead continues.
Going to get a good run here because he had to go run that lap car, but the Trax is doing exactly what he needs to do here with Hoosler. You know, keep him honest, make him use that inside lane to try to pass him. Doesn't want to give him that outside though. That's what Lane is trying to bait him into. Maybe make a little mistake, kill that momentum of him. He's able to, you know, slingshot by him. Laps wind down, folks. It's been a good one here tonight. We've got 25 to go. Battle on the lead up here up front, but I tell you what, step away. We'll take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back.
There's an immeasurable bond that forms when you join the service. You'll do anything to protect and defend those at your side, and pushing the limits of your well-being is all just part of the job. But when this shared experience ends, it's easy to carry that mission-first mindset with you and neglect your own health and mental fitness. Team Red, White, and Blue understands these challenges and knows that together we can show veterans that their best days are ahead by providing opportunities to build healthier lifestyles right where they live and work. Through races, service projects, workouts, and a cutting-edge mobile app, our members develop a sense of camaraderie and mutual support. With a growing force of over 200,000 strong, we invite all veterans, families, and non-military supporters to start putting their well-being first. Team Red, White, and Blue is forging America's leading health and wellness community. Will you join the team?
Lead right now, and that is actually bringing Evan Kinney up into the party here, folks. I mean, if they keep battling like they're doing right now for the lead, Evan Kinney's going to be up here on their back door here pretty soon. The laps are winding down. I said the tracks needs to make Hoosler, stay on that inside. And I think with this many laps on the tires, we're seeing that those tires are coming. Comes Kenny though.
Yeah, and I don't really know the lap times here, but I mean Evan Kinney is running 2/10 faster than our top two here.
It was 76, 75 for the top two. They were like dead on each other. And then the last lap was a 55. That last time though even was a 66, 69. 55, so I don't know where Kenny's getting the speed, but he's definitely got speed. Tatum's the fastest with a 51, but a little further on back. I just don't know if Kenny's got enough just to fly right on by Hoosler. We talk about that week in and week out, but what it takes just to pass someone. That time around, Hoosler picked it up. He got a 58, 52 for Kenny, 69 for Trax. Man, it's a three-truck race right now.
It is, and Hoosler's gonna have to find something to get around the 79 truck of Trask. I mean, he is during our break. He was throwing it in there, trying to find something to stick, couldn't. And now he's got the 91 or 97 of Kenny behind him. So he's gonna have to figure something out, or I mean, Trask is driving a brilliant race, very defensive, and a lot of skill to do it right, to drive a defensive race and not chase not mirror drive. He's picking a lane, he's holding it, and he's keeping Hoosler behind him.
And that's kind of what you got to do. I mean, Hoosler right now definitely is. He's having to try to find a lane. Problem is now he's got Kenny, and they all go sliding in. There you go. Yeah, he got loose, had to chase the truck. Wow. Evan Kenny, though, says, let me get up here and see if I can do something here.
Wow. I mean...
You don't see too many mistakes out of lane. But, hey, it happens.
I mean... I wonder if he burned them up trying to get past the 79. That's wow, you don't really see a lot of mistakes out of lane like that.
Product of this track here, good racing. I mean, Trax has got the lane that you have to have, and he's not going to give it up, which, rightfully so. So Kenny's going to have to make that pass on the low line, and you just see right there how loose that truck gets. I don't know if he can make it or not.
I mean, well, right now he's got the middle. Well, now he's on the low side.
That truck right there needs to drop all the way to the bottom. There you go.
Yep. So,
it's tight right here.
And he pulls down to the apron. See, and that's very respectful from the lap car there. But they
go Spinelli.
What?
I think he's trying to get on pit road. We'll watch right real quick what happened to him. I think he was trying to get on pit road. Looped it.
Okay, I'm just happy he didn't bring out a caution because he was like...
That's up his good finish here. Like, yeah, he just got on the apron right there. Hey,
10,
wrong pit lane.
10 laps. 10 laps to go here.
Oh, Kenny's got him. Kenny got him. Yeah, he's got him now. Once he got that run there. Wow, Evan Kenny to the point with a power move. Boy, that was a good run. I mean, Jordan, give it to Jordan. He has held these guys off.
Yeah, I mean, here he is back on the outside, but I don't think he's going to have the run.
Now, look at Ross Tatum, though, right there on the back end. So we're going to battle for third.
You know, I don't want to bring up the commentators.
Who's that?
That's the 86 there. Spinning in the back.
I don't know who that is.
I think that is
Joe
Spinelli.
Spinelli, yeah. He in the pits, too. Old tires.
So,
we're not done with this battle up here. I mean, Kenny might be able to walk off from it, but Lane's got regrouped here. He's got Tatum on his back door. It's going to be a tight battle, I think, for second, third here. It's like you said, 7 to go here at Iowa.
It's 7 to go, and pretty much all under a blanket. All within 8, 9 tenths of each other. Riding on board with Tatum here.
Yeah, Lane has been able to get back up here with tracks again. Gonna try one more time. He's got to watch. He's got to watch old Tatum back here this time. Last time he had Kenny. Now he's got to watch Tatum. Evan Kenny coming up here going to steal the show.
Yeah, and you know, I'm not gonna say what I was going to say because you know, as soon as I was about to say it, we've seen the 86 in the grass, so I'm not gonna say
a caution, huh? No caution.
Yeah, we don't. No caution. I will say it. I will say it when we take the white flag.
Absolutely. And killed himself at that point. I've always said that. Across the line. Look at Hoosler right there. Gets that run coming off the turn. He got a good run. He's going to slingshot down on the inside. He might have the momentum to break it coming into the turn this time. It's going to slide up the track.
He's still
but
there.
His track's going to be there. And, boy, I tell you what, Lane gave him the room, but he should be able to get him this time around.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely going to keep his truck there on the outside, you know, and he's still there.
He had that pass. Wow. Oh, man, that would have been a good run to the finish there. Tracks would have got him. Now look at Tatum here, though. Count him out.
No, and, you know, the race is now shifted to second. You know, the amazing run from Kenny pretty much out of nowhere. Because this was a battle for the lead. And then now you have Kenny all the way out in front. Probably a good half a straightaway out in front.
What's amazing, too, though, is Tatum pitted at lap 86. And the guys here pitted at 92, 91, and 91. They have a lot better tires than Tatum. But he's showing, hey, look what consistency does. And now he has come up here, run them down, and got up in the third. And Lane Hoosler, who has pretty much dominated the most of the race tonight with the white flag out, has fallen to fourth. Evan Kenny, though, all he's got to do is put this thing on cruise control, and he's going to put her in victory lane.
Yeah, and you know, like I was going to say, you know, last time he was leading a race, this late caution came out and he got taken away from him. But not tonight. Not tonight.
Nope. Awesome, man.
What a
Finish
race.
right there. Yes, it was. I like that. A good finish to it here. Good green flags here tonight. Couple cautions in, some pitch strategies. Good tire management there from Ross Tatum, who comes home in third. Jordan Trask comes home there in the second. But it's all Evan Kenny coming up here, just taking it.
Nine of Jordan Trask there. Unchartered vehicle. You know, coming in here, holding on. But you definitely made it to the round of 7. So we'll see.
Joe, I got you.
Man, it's been a while since you've been up here, but tonight you come up here and stole the show from them. What did it take? I mean, was it managing those tires or just seeing those guys battle up there?
He has a little bit of both, and yeah, it's been too long since I've been in this booth spending time with you, Joe. So it feels good to be back, especially after last week. Last week was it was a week that made me wonder if I still had it. So this helps the confidence quite a bit. But yeah, it's a little bit of tire saving, and I think a lot of bit of them battling it out there. And I knew if I could just stick to the bottom the entire race, and we had a nice long green flag run, I would be in great shape. So it worked out perfectly for me.
It looked like the higher lane was a better option, but you just said the lower. I mean, how comfortable was you on older set of tires to make that pass on a lower lane?
Yeah, the top line or the middle groove was substantially faster for the first 15 laps, and then after that 15 lap mark, it dropped off, and the low line was quite a bit faster. So once I saw those guys both running, second lane up, battling with each other, I knew that if I just stuck down there on the bottom and did what I've been doing all race, I would have a really good shot at it. So it worked out.
No doubt, did work out. Got you up front, got you in the victory lane here tonight at Iowa. You got anybody you want to thank?
Yeah, just you guys as always for putting on a great broadcast, and for Chris putting the lead together. What it's turned into is pretty incredible. And then my boys at Only Dad's Racing. It's a bummer of a night for Nate. Just missed out on making the next round. But great run for him and Jeremy both this season, and we're excited to go for a championship next season.
Absolutely. There you go. Evan Kinney putting it in victory lane. A little bit long overdue, but Caleb, what a race it was tonight. Saw a little bit of everything, and outstanding here coming out of Iowa.
Yeah, I mean, it was a short track, and I think we only had like 2 cautions, something in that. So a fantastic race. The final, that from the time the final caution came out to the checkered flag, was probably some of the best racing we've seen all season. And 2 of the drivers weren't even in the playoffs. So anything can happen in this league. But yeah, I mean, it's just really incredible racing. And next week we're at Rockingham, start the round of 7. So, and then that's really where the championship fight's going to pick up.
Absolutely. Like you said, round of 7. Now to push us over into the round of 4. Stay tuned, folks. Next week, it'll be a good one. Like you said, Rockingham. Before myself and everyone tonight, have a good one.